Sorry, we are waiting for the elusive Slippy desktop browser to load, and then we'll get started. Loading. Loading. Got that Yoshi's, I think it's Yoshi's Island theme or Yoshi's Story theme stuck in my head. That's like really been that's what's been in my head lately. Okay. Clearly Nishi's been playing today because there's a lot of Peach. But we're not talking about playing as Peach, we're talking about playing against Peach. Very different game. I know I played some Peaches. There's one. Here is a Peach. Remember this one being kind of brutal. Or did I lose this one? Let's find out. How did I do? If I recall, there's like a Peach I absolutely destroyed. Might have been this one. Yes, it was. Okay. Well, we can... Pretty recent. So... if there... I know there's a couple more. Ooh. That's... Okay. I got a couple games with this guy. On this. I think it was really close. I'm playing green for some reason. Oh, that's kind of tight. Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess that I won this. Yeah. Okay. And I might have lost the second one actually, if I recall. I think I did like a really bad SD. It's hard to remember. Let's see. Let us see. One viewer, probably be this other monitor. Oh, did I win this one too? Oh, this one was much closer. Let's see, I could have blown it. I think I secured this one. Oh, great. So this was like a pretty close game. You did a really good job of like adapting from the first game. That might have been too little too late if this was a tournament. Boom. Yep. Excellent. Okay, this will be a wonderful piece of art to gaze upon. I'll wait a few more minutes. I'm gonna go grab some water real quick, and then we'll jump into it. Talk about the Peach matchup. So yeah. And then I spilled water all over myself. Okay, here we are. Okay, hello. I'm going to be talking about how I fight Peach in the Dr. Mario Peach matchup. So, a little context for me. Historically, I have hated this matchup. Um, I used to think this was Doc's worst matchup. I thought it was impossible. I would get very angry. I would lose to a ton of Peaches. And I think historically, it's not even when I played Doc. I used to play Sheik, and I would also really struggle in this matchup. So Peach has just always been very, very hard for me. And I think part of that is because my main practice partner, his tag is Nishi, is a very, very good Peach, one of the best Peaches in SoCal. And he knew the Doc matchup very well because we play all the time. And I only took a single game off his Peach in tournament over, I'd say, 7 years of competing. So he has a very good record against me, and that made me really discouraged in this matchup. However, once I started playing more Peaches outside of him, who didn't know the matchup as well, and I did some studying, I really believe that this matchup isn't as bad as I once thought. In fact, I think it's a little bit closer and not as impossible. But I had to rethink a lot of how I viewed this matchup, and so now I feel more confident in it, and I can say I have a grasp on how I approach this matchup, and I won't just be all discouraged and say it's hopeless, because I do think there is a way. So yes, to start off, obviously, I think Peach wins the matchup, simply because of Peach's ability to wall really, really well. If Peach plays really hard to hit and forces you to approach, it can be a very tough game. And so how I approach this matchup is really just run, 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 run away from Peach. One thing I learned from just messing around with Peach is how slow this character actually is. You can escape a lot of Peach's combos and different things like that, simply by just moving away from her. It's a really common thing. This isn't just a Doc tip, but I think in general, rolling away from Peach is super, super good, because usually she's so slow that she actually can't follow it up. So when in doubt, don't roll back into her or tech in place. Like, really just like tech away as much as you can. And platform camping is really good. Watch some. Spud is a really good Doc with platform movement. He actually just posted a clip today about how sick Doc's movement can be, and if you can move on the platforms, you can do very well in this matchup, I believe. I like to be on platforms as much as I possibly can, and run around and pill, play runaway, get your hits here and there, and then go for a kill confirm. So I have a set here. I actually have 2 games with this Peach, and you know what? For today, we'll go through the second game first, actually, because I think it was a little bit closer, so we might have some more stuff to look at. So initially, anytime I see a Peach come on the screen, I am thinking primarily 2 things. I am thinking, how do I run away from her and stay out of dash attack range? And how do I get her to commit to something bad? And that's basically like my whole game plan is just pill, 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 have her commit to something, and then you punish. And I prefer stages that have platforms because it allows me to run away and around Peach, where she can kind of close you off if she's floating. So let's first take a look at this game, and as we go through it, we will discuss it. So here we go from the top. Okay, so Peach is already getting into the float zone. We're like not even a second in. Float is probably the most deceptive thing in this matchup, and one of the things I had to really, really overcome, because it looks like she's just easily hittable right here. Uh-oh. I agree. When Peach starts floating like this, it can be really really scary, and because it looks like you can just go up and hit her, and you really can't. Um, Peach has such a good wall. You actually have to be so close to her to do anything. She can drift away, hit you with forward air, and it doesn't trade, or nair that comes out super fast, or down air that has the crazy hitbox. And so, like, part of this game is realizing that, like, Peach can only float for so long. And you need to kind of just bob and weave around this float until she loses it and reposition. So it actually requires you to be really, really patient for when you decide to jump in. Because Peach really wants you to just jump at her, and she's going to make it really deceptive and make it seem like you can hit her. So I'm not trying to deal with any of this float right here. So right there, there's one position I do think is good under Peach. And I kind of biff it, but being directly underneath Peach is really, really good place to be. Because all she can really do is hit you with down air, and that will trade, most likely. I did the up air too early, but doing up airs here and up tilt in particular, I think up tilt is a super good option here to catch Peach in the air. Because ideally where you want Peach is right above you, so you can juggle her. You can combo Peach to no end. If you look up like old Fran's videos, get like 6 up airs on FD. It's crazy what you can get off, but it's just a matter of catching her in the first place. So I like to try to be directly underneath her. This is an ideal spot. I think I actually went for the up tilt here. I think I'm going for the scoop, but the back air trades. Yeah. So there's a lot of trades in this matchup. So at higher percents, it could be really beneficial to you to use nair, because Doc's nair gets stronger the longer it's out. I don't think you knew that, but it's true. So sometimes if you can catch Peach in the air, of course in the air, with the nair, you'll probably win that trade and will kill. And so that's like a really good way to go about it. So we'll talk more about that later, but just know that trades are a very common thing. Also, look at Doc right now. Look at his hands. They look like French fries. Okay, so I wasn't ready for the dash attack here. So the dash attack is a really common approach that Peach is going to do. So now my game plan here. She's going to commit to this float and probably land right about here. My main spacing is trying to stay out of the range of dash attack, because if I'm out of the range of dash attack, I'm essentially out of the range of any of her moves. And I want to be in that spot at all times. I think the way to play this matchup is to be just out of that dash attack range, where Peach will get impatient and try to force something. And here's one of the reasons. Because Docs are crouch canceling like monsters. Because Doc gets so much off a crouch cancel. A common problem that I had when I first started playing this matchup is I would just crouch cancel and get down smashed. And I would eat 60% instantly. And it took so much work for me to unlearn like crouch canceling in this matchup. And then I got to the point where I was so scared of crouch canceling I would never do it in this matchup at all, which really limits your options, because there actually are points where crouch canceling is a good idea. For example, crouch canceling the dash attack, or if Peach lands with a float cancel aerial into jab, you can crouch cancel the jab and do something. But if you're so scared of never holding down, then it limits your options. So what staying out of the dash attack range does for you is it means you won't eat a down smash. At least that's how I think of it. I won't get hit with down smash, so I'm comfortable holding down more. Because if you hold down on the dash attack, you can probably get a grab and you could probably do something really cool. So let's see what Peach does here. Right here, I'm just throwing pills as if she was grounded. I don't have the range right here to jump and do anything. So that's also, like, anytime you shoot pills, you got to keep in mind, like, do I have the space to do it without getting hurt? And so standing, I was safe, but if I jumped, it would have been really bad. So I managed to get out of the corner. So one thing this Peach is doing a lot, it's kind of like a Marth thing. I don't know if I'll ever catch on to it. Let's see. So it's the float, run away. And it's probably trying to, another float here, trying to wall out. So I decided to go up. And that's pretty safe because Peach has to commit to the full hop. And then it's kind of a mix-up game. And you should feel very, very comfortable running around here and not getting, not actually getting damage. I think being able to move around and mix up where you're going will give you more value as the match progresses. Because I think of this game in terms of poking and getting little damage percents. And so this jump here isn't that bad. I actually prefer it. Top platform camping against this character is so broken. So I recommend trying to counterpick to Battlefield or I think actually Battlefield's the best stage for Doc in this matchup for the top platform because FOD and Dreamland, they do have the top plat, but you also have the huge stage, which can kind of be annoying if you can't get a good kill. So I think Battlefield's the best stage. So notice how I'm just trying to stay away from that float. I'm kind of fading back. Okay, so he catches me with the bad drill. Oh, Yoshi's. Dude, I totally forgot about Yoshi's. Oh my goodness. Yes, Yoshi's is great. Yoshi's is really, really good. As long as you can feel like you can run around and not feel too pressured by the small space. Dude, I honestly forgot Yoshi's was in the game for a second. Yeah, Yoshi's is... I like Yoshi's too. Oh, so I do the cape there to kind of mix up the timing because float is on like a set amount of time. So sometimes your cape... I do this against Marths too when I'm trying to come down because I'll try to commit to something. So the cape is a really good option. So as you can see, back to top platform. Just kind of hanging out. Now I'm throwing kills at different heights. Trying to get something. Running up for the nair. Or was it up air? Back to top platform. Aha, so this Peach overcommitted. Fade back fair is super, super, super good in this matchup. I usually do it to call out a dash attack. It's kind of like if Falcon like fade back knees and, you know, like he's running around, he just kind of like drifts away knee, hoping you run into it. It's a very similar concept. That's how I think of it. So fade back fair is really, really good. Usually I'd try to do it to catch dash attack, but it worked with this aerial. Because sometimes they just commit at a bad time. And I'm not even tripping, like I'm just gonna keep throwing pills. Forward tilt, another really good option. You're not gonna get much of a combo or like a follow-up after it, but it's good to tack on percent and keep some distance. Okay, so most Peaches aren't very good with the turnips. You can get a lot of capes. You get a lot of capes on the turnips. But it is something to look out for, because a Peach that knows how to do turnips, it can be kind of scary. Ooh, that dash attack was actually sick to kind of get underneath. Because when Peach is floating like that, she can't CC it. So you can kind of like trade with it, or get right underneath, and it gets me center stage, and it props them up. So another thing to realize is that Peach is almost always going to try to wiggle out into float. So you kind of have to know when your combo run ends. You have to, if you're going to get any strings, you're going to be very, very close together. Like you're going to get like up air, up air, up air, like really close. But if Peach is any distance away from you, expect that she's going to float to turn around and try to come back at you. So don't like overcommit. It's a sure death sentence. So right there, I was spacing for the dash attack because that's what's in my head at all times is that dash attack, and so I called it out with the forward smash. Let's look at it again. Just because I think it's important. So I jump back, forward smash. The tricky thing with this is you really have to practice the spacing because even if her hands hit, just like there's no like actual momentum behind the hands. If it just gets hit a little bit, it's gonna hit you and she can string something. That's the tricky part about that move too, is because it doesn't necessarily matter like at what strength the dash attack hits you. It just needs to hit, and she'll get something. Most Peaches aren't ready for that back air, but be careful because some Peaches will start throwing out a forward air preemptively, much like Falcon, where Falcon will try to like throw out a knee as he's coming back. Very similar with Peach, but you can get a lot off this. So for edgeguarding Peach, it's actually very similar to how I think about edgeguarding Falcon, just with very different timings. You want to be above her as much as you can, and so that your back air forces her at a downward angle, to the point where she misses the ledge. That's your goal. Because if she makes it back to the stage, she kind of has freedom. She has such little lag when she lands that you can't really punish it. So back air is a really good option here. And you can actually cape, as she's doing the parasol animation, like when she comes up, you can cape it and send her in the tumble. If she wiggles out, she can do it again. But sometimes you have time to grab ledge before she wiggles out. See, now she's too low. And then you just roll up. And this takes practice too. If you don't play Peaches a lot, like getting the practice where you don't get hit by the parasol is something that you just have to do quite a bit. But yeah, back air is the main tool here. I almost do nothing else. And it's also important to recognize that like if Peach grabs ledge, her options from ledge are actually really poor. She can really just kind of like get up here or roll. She doesn't have actually that many options, so it kind of makes keeping her on the ledge good. It's easier. So you really just don't want her to land on the stage. That's your main goal. Okay, so now I get a kill. So now the thing I'm thinking of is I want to get as much percent on her before she kills me. And I'm going to play as hard keep away as I can. I want to extend this lead as much as I can. Because really, if I get caught slipping with like one bad crouch cancel, percents could be even. So I kind of treat it like Puff, where it's like the stock isn't a lead because the Puff can just get a rest and then, or like Ice Climber just get a wobble. Like never assume you have the lead and so you can keep pushing. With these kind of floaty matchups, I don't recommend it. I think you could do it in like a fast fall matchup. I think that's fine. But with Peach, I don't do that. I just try to get as much percent. So you get to the point that because you trade so much, you'll eventually get to a point where she's at such a high percent, you'll get the trade, and that's another stock. That's how I think of it. I'm not trying to get Peach to like a specific percent, although there are kill confirms that we can work with. I just want to have her to have way more. I want her to have way more percent than I do, and just live. It's kind of like if you're playing teams. Like, at least that's how I was taught to play teams. Like, the one rule of teams is to not die. It's not actually to kill other people, it's just to stay alive. And that's kind of how I think of this matchup. Is like, the goal is actually not to kill Peach, it's to stay alive longer. And that kind of mindset will kind of shift. So, ledge is pretty safe here. I feel like I'm going to do something stupid and get killed, but... one thing I do a lot in this matchup, especially if Peach is grounded, I do a lot of tournament winners actually in this matchup. I do it on purpose. So I tournament winner up and then double jump to the top plat. I do it quite a bit. But she was ready for it. Oh, bad throw. I shouldn't have lived that. But yeah, she called out my tournament winner. But I find it to be useful in this matchup. Okay, so right there is like, I need to just air dodge and hope to get on the other side. Oh, my up tilt didn't come out. Bad mesh. Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about, besides my recoveries are trash, there's this thing that Over Triforce does, the Sheik player, where he will poof and hit the turn up so that the turn up bounces an extra time in the air. You can actually do something similar with Doc. I forget the exact timing, but let's move back a little bit. Let's say Peach throws the turn up here to edge guard. You can actually up B into the turn up and get a bounce and then come back. But you kind of have to time which coin I guess you hit. because sometimes you just hit all the way through the turnip and then you. But if you're at a point where like you're out of jumps and you really can't make it, you can try to leverage the turnip to get you back. Like right here, if you did it, I'd go boom, try to get hit, and then air dodge the stage. Wow, what a bad match. I should have lived. Alright, so it's an even game, unfortunately. He's not covering my roller. Cape, yep. So I'm mixing up my pill heights just to not keep any consistency. And changing your pill heights is really good in this matchup because Peach will float at different heights. And so having pills at different heights shows Peach that like, oh, it doesn't really matter what height I'm at. Like, I can still get hit by the pill. And that's really good. And it can really, if your Peach that you're playing against is very float heavy, it can really screw them up. I think ideally Peach should play this more dash attack heavy. Or grounded, like dash dancing. I think that's the ideal way to play the matchup. But for these floaty kind of Peaches, get a lot of pill damage. So that was an example where I did have an opening. So he floated really close. Like he almost like floated to the other side of me. And that's when I know I'm safe to like do an up air. And just try to maximize as much as I can. So I got 2 aerials off that. That's really good. And then I anticipated her coming in, so I did the forward tilt. Notice how she did the float to come back. So I didn't jump in. I stayed right here and threw a pill. And the trade. Trades are super good. See how Peach could only come up? She couldn't like do anything. Another trade. Remember, just trying to stay above, trying to keep her from that ledge. He's doing good DI to... Oh, I overextended. See, I overextended, I got a little greedy, and now I'm 42% deep, and I'm off stage. Oh, but Peach screwed up. But that could have been really, really bad. If the Peach was a little bit more ready, that could have been a stock. So that's a lesson in what not to do. Like, really, you can't be super greedy in this matchup at all. Okay, so now my game plan is back to how do I get as much percent. Last stock, I didn't get any. Sticking to those platforms, using drill to cover myself coming down. Back air. Oh, okay. I love fall through back air in this matchup. Fall through back air or wave land off a platform back air. I do this so much in this matchup, and you just get these little hits. Notice how I did the forward tilt to keep space. Back to the top platform, back air. See, another fall through back air. Fall through back air is really, really good in this matchup to catch Peach, because even if Peach is floating, if she's running, like, you cover so much, and then you run away and you do it again. Bad Nair. I shouldn't have done Nair. Nair is a very tricky thing to do in this matchup. I don't recommend it. Ideally, you shouldn't do what I just did. That was a really bad habit. So, like, you never want to come straight down onto Peach, like I'm doing right here. What I'm doing right here is stupid. Don't do what I'm doing. That's like free money. Because most Peaches are really good at like the microspacing game. You don't want to do that. Learn from my mistakes. Right. Oh, you got a little too close. See? I was waiting for the jump. Oh, I tried to catch her coming in. But I'm not overextending. Notice how I keep fading back with everything that I'm doing. I'm fading back. I have the stock lead. Always fading back. A little too close. Got the down smash. See how that pill stopped the short hop float, like at the lowest level? So the standing pill is going to hit that. See how I'm spacing entirely for dash attack here. And as she floats and moves around, I reposition where it can be. At a certain point, if she floats all the way here, I'm going to run out of the stage. And so I'm going to have to figure out, is Peach now going to jump, or is she going to continue coming forward? So that's like a really easy way to think of it. So you're spacing for dash attack the whole time, always spacing. But once you get to a point where you can no longer space for dash attack, you have to make the call. Is she going to commit to something here in the corner? Or is she going to read me jumping up here? Or is she going to fade back? Those are your kind of like your options. So you got to start making calls. So there I went forward a little bit because I thought she was going to keep drifting, and I got the forward air. Okay, so you can do this. I was feeling kind of good. But you can actually catch... if Peach is like sleeper floating, sometimes you could mash up to her and get the down B kill. It's really risky, and it didn't work for me. I probably should have started lower and had a way heavier mash, but you can do that. I've done it a few times. See, I'm just holding center. Nothing crazy. And now I'm spacing for dash attack again. Oh my gosh. That was crazy. She let go ledge too early. But holy crap, that angle was insane. The drill worked there because she didn't have time to move away. And I just rolled away. So right, oh, there's so much to talk about here. So when Peach lands with aerials like this, you have to understand that she's functionally lagless. Okay. And this was something that was really hard for me to understand, because I was so used to playing with like Falco, for example, where Falco will do an aerial and I whiff punish it. Peach, it's very, very hard to whiff punish Peach because her moves are so lagless and she has so many mix-ups that it can be so tough. And so like this back air here is not something I can actually punish well. At least I don't have the reaction time, and historically I would get hit here. Maybe you can do it. Maybe I just suck, but like I've never been able to punish this stuff well. So with these auto cancel aerials, like always assume that there's something coming after this. This is not the last move. It's not like Peach just hard committed and now she's like, oh crap, I messed up. It's like, no, I committed to something and I'm gonna do something else afterwards. She chose the shield, which is not a good option, in my opinion. So then I jump here. I do a bad nair. You also have to understand that if she does an aerial like this, you're not going to be able to immediately move. So I just stayed in shield and got the heck out of there. And look, another trade. I did the fade back fair. Remember, everything is fade back in this matchup. I did the fade back fair. Got the stock. I live. Now I'm 3 stocks to 1, and my goal is just to milk this stock as long as I can. Again, okay, that was bad. Don't do that. That's something I need to work on. Don't do this falling down stuff. Don't fall directly down onto her. You never want to be in that position. If you're going to come down, you are fading away. If I'm ever going to do anything coming down from this platform, I'm either going all the way over here or all the way over here. None of this middle ground. Easy with punish for Peach. I got lucky. So right here I rolled away. I buffered a roll after the aerial. Rolling away is ideal. And I mentioned that at the beginning of this. But rolling away, Peach has a really hard time covering that. See, okay, so all of these drills were really, really bad. I was getting impatient. So don't drop down from that platform like that. That was, yeah, that was all because I was being a dum-dum. Okay. What I try to do here also is try to get different heights so that it covers like right here. Like I like to try to get pills where it's ambiguous if it goes up or down on the platforms. Because it shows Peach that's like, oh, I can't just stay on the platform and be safe. It's not like lasers, right? Where like if Falco's shooting lasers, it's only staying at one height. It's going one way. And so he's like, oh, if I'm on the platform, then like I don't have to worry about the projectile anymore. With Doc, it's not true because you can jump and change the bounce, right? And so that's really good to try to like mix up this kind of area. So it's like I can't jump the platform, I can't run forward. So from this position, I don't really recommend the grounded stuff. I like to do the jumping stuff that kind of makes this area just really hard to navigate. Oh, big call out. See those up tilts? So that's an example. Like if you can get underneath Peach there, you can get a bunch of up tilts. You could probably get a couple up airs and things like that. Bad nair. I was getting antsy, so like I ran in. Luckily I traded and I'm stock up, so part of me feels like I'm a little more comfortable running in, but I really shouldn't. See how that pill, like I was trying to get the pill so it's like right on the platform. Oh, what am I doing? I think I tried to up B cancel or something. Aha, so if you can catch Peach shielding right there, that's money. You want grabs. Grabs are really good in this matchup. You can get a grab into like up throw or up tilt or something. At really early percents, you could get I think from like 0 to 30, get down throw up smash and get some follow-ups. Or if they don't wiggle out, like down throw drill, but that's really risky. I prefer down throw up smash at low percents. And then I think it's around, someone can fact check me on this, around 70% to like 100, you can get a down throw fair kill. However, the good Peaches that I play, they're always mashing out, but it's actually really hard to react to. It's really hard to react to the down throw if you do it fast enough. So if you get a grab, like immediately input your throw. Like don't contemplate, don't do any jabs to like build percent. Like really just commit to the throw. And so that way they don't have time to wiggle out and try to aerial. So that's another thing you can kind of mix up too, is like you do the down throw and then you, if you know the Peaches are going to try to wiggle out, you can force them to wiggle out and then try to read where they end up going. So right now this Peach is almost at kill percent. Yep. So I'm at a point now where it's like I kind of want to get a grab and just end the game. So I'm going to play it safe. See how I was patient there? I didn't run out there. In the past, I would have tried to nair her. Like, done something. You really just believe that's like, float is invincible. I don't touch float. We don't touch float. That's bad. Keep that distance. Because really, like, she can't hurt you. Because if she pulls a turnip from this dash attack range, you can just run up and hit her. It's too much time. You're not giving Peach enough time to pull a turnip, and you're not at a position where she can defensively hit you. She always has to commit, and that's where you want to be. See? I'm doing the fade back fairs again. And then every once in a while I mix it up. So be in the fade back fair mode, and I repeat that so often, and then out of the blue I'll do an aggressive approach. I do this a lot when I play Falco, as Falco. Every once in a while I'll just laser in place, and then out of nowhere just like jump in there. And so it's kind of like lulling your opponent into like a fake sense of security where it's like, oh, he's only going to do one thing, so I don't have to worry about other options, and then you switch it up. I can't believe I grabbed that, actually. Oh my gosh. Right before the down smash came out. And that's a kill. A little stylish up B cancel. Okay, so we're going to look at one more game. And this one was more of a slobber knocker for me. No, this is the one. This one. Here we go. Oh, look at those pills. Isn't it beautiful? See how she can't float at any height now? She's trying to do this mid-float height, and it's just not going to work. If your Peach doesn't end the matchup, dude, you can get so much percent to start off. And then I faded away. Always fading away. Always, always, always fading away. See that positioning? I'm not approaching. I'm waiting for back air, or dash attack. She did a bad forward air approach. I get a forward air. Hill, hill, hill. I do it again. I do it over and over. Look at that spacing. This is like, I'm playing the spacing super well. Remember, you can't hit float? So all you can do with float is try to position her as far off stage as you possibly can. So when Peach is in float, your goal is to fight for space, not for hits. It becomes a game of stage control. So you have to think of the game as not just, oh, I hit the person and I'm winning. It's like, I have control of the stage and I'm winning. Because you having control of the stage is actually more important than the percent in those instances. If you try to make the game about percent, then you're going to try to jump in and do something stupid. Ooh, bad up B on his part. So I have a massive lead. And basically, because this Peach isn't as good, I feel like this really exemplifies how like bread and butter my approach is to the matchup. Because I'm just going to do the same exact thing. Run away. Hill. Hill. Run away. Bad approach. Hill. Hill. Run away. Get a couple of pokes here and there when they're not ready. Hill. Hill. Run away. Oh, he got me. Dash attack to go underneath the float. And I'm just waiting. Oh, nice float cancel, but back air to keep her out. Oops. So what happened there? What went wrong? Here. Oops. I drifted too far towards the ledge and it reversed. So that was a stage control reversal right there. I kind of think of Melee sometimes as like, this is not even a good analogy, but this is literally, for a while, my tag was goal because I tried to think of it like a soccer goalie. For some reason, it just worked. It made sense in my head. Like if a character, like, I don't know, if a character's here, right? I just imagined that like center stage was a soccer goal and I was the goalie with my little goalie gloves. And whatever character is here is the ball, and I have to keep the ball out of the goal. I know that sounds really stupid, but that's, for some reason, it really worked for me in terms of like defensive stage control stuff. You're the goalie. You don't let anything pass through this wall. The game actually isn't to kill the character; it's to keep the ball from getting into the goal. That's how I think of it, and for some reason that works really well. So anytime like I'm in this very common situation where it's like you've got your platform, you're in center, and they're over here. It's a goalie game. It's no longer melee. It's a goalie game, and you have to win. You have to keep the ball out. Maybe that helps somebody. I don't know. Over here, but then goalie was stupid and thought he could play as a forward, and then boom, the ball hits him. This analogy is starting to break down. So Peaches sometimes do bad drills here, or little tippy toes. So as Peach, you really want to grab a ledge. You're not gonna do this little like tippy toe fox thing. It's not very good because you'll trade with the up B. Peaches should try to grab a ledge. So if you're a Peach, you should watch grab a ledge. Ooh, I really like getting the pill to fair confirm, so I thought I could get it here, but I was greedy. But then I just jump away. I don't try to engage. I jump back over here. Ooh, that cape was kind of dirty. Another bad aerial approach. Everything's a fade back fair, and then I run in. It's like fade back fair, jump in. Alright, time to play soccer. I'm the goalie. I'm the goalie. Get the ball. Get the ball on the away from the goal. Oh, the ball, they scored. Dang. Oh, time to play goalie again. Oh, so notice like the percent, how absurdly high percent. Once you get past like, I don't know, I'd say 130 or so, a very viable kill option is back throw or forward throw, depending on what side of the stage you're on. I believe on the stage, I think most stages 180 will always kill. Yoshi's, I think from if you go from like left to right, oh my phone. I have to check my jury duty portal after I finish recording. I lost my train of thought. Yes, so I think from like, if I'm on the furthest left corner here of stadium and I back throw this way, at 180 it should kill no matter what the DI is. And so it's good to kind of gauge those percents. Or a forward throw will kill going this way. Just want to know where you're at and where you can get a kill off a throw. Also, trading with Nair is a really good option here too. But it might be, if you can catch Peach and shield and get a grab, that's obviously the better, cleaner option here. So I think I'm starting to look for it. Yep, and I get it. You could probably tell that I started fishing too. Like my spacing changed entirely. So I started getting way closer to her. Way closer, because I saw her on the ground. She's grounded and she's not moving. And so she's really afraid if I hit her with a move, she'll die. And that's when you get a grab. Because she's at that percent, she's so scared of getting hit. So she'll probably shield. And that's actually what you want. Because, well, Peach doesn't know that. Yep. So I'm 2 stacks up. I'm probably going to fail myself a little bit and try to do something stupid. See the roll away? I rolled away to center. I'd much rather be in center than off stage. Let's say Peach even reads it. I'd still prefer to be I'd still prefer to be over here, honestly. So like, let's say I'm here. She does the fair to down smash. Let's say she doesn't do the down smash and reads my roll going this way. Even still, I kind of prefer to be in this spot, given this stock count. Because I just don't want to be over here. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where Peach can edge guard me. At lower percents, I'd feel more comfortable if I think the Peach is going to read the roll in to kind of wait it out. Like, if I was playing Nishi, I would wait here and assume that, like, he dash attacks this way. But only at certain percents. At this high of a percent, I'd rather go this way. Because even if I get red, the move won't kill me. If I go this way, it will probably kill me. Okay, also, if you can get any hits where Peach isn't crouch canceling, ooh, it's money. It's beautiful. Oh. Okay, so here's another situation. The day one Peach move here is to down smash the platform. So if you try to jump up and hit her, you get hit. This Peach, I think, knows a little bit better to not deal with that. I don't know why she's trying to shield drop, but this is a common scenario. So you wanna see if this Peach is cheesy enough to do the down smash. So what I usually do is once Peach is on the platform, I wait a little bit or fake a jump so that they commit to the down smash and you can get another up air. And see how many times you can get away with that. Sometimes I get like 2 or 3 up airs until they realize, oh, I'm not going to fall for it. Yeah, she chose the shield drop, and so I spaced accordingly. So I was in a position that whether she down smashed or shield dropped, that would have been fine. That was a cape to mess with the float timing. Phantom cape, and then I roll away. I roll away because there's no incentive to not roll away. at this percent. Bad nair, don't do that. So here's something to consider. So this is the worst place you can be in this matchup, in my opinion. Peach's micro spacing is crazy good. And I find that the grounded Peach players are the ones that really destroy Doc. Because they're not giving Doc the mileage of spamming pill and running away. They're actually just fading out an approach. They're doing basically the same thing that we're doing to her. And so this nair is really bad. I shouldn't have done this. What I should do in this situation is stop pilling and start tilting and trying to get space again. Trying to get Peach in the air. I don't want to have Peach on the ground. Because Peaches are notoriously good at power shield grabbing people or power shield nair or something. And it could be so brutal. If Peach gets a grab on you, it could be really damaging. So I never want to be in that position. I always want to be... Anytime Peach gets a hit on me, I want it to be from very far away or a trade. I don't want it to be up close with a grab or some sort of like really hard-hitting combo. So this Peach did a great job of forcing me to do something stupid and getting a good dash attack on me. Oh, but she overcommits. Roll. Oh, I missed more forward air. But that's the roll I was talking about. Oops. So forward throw is a very common kill option for Peach, so make sure that you're always DIing up for that. If Peach does down throw, if you... okay, I gotta think of this. If you DI forward, she gets dash attack. And if you DI any other way, it's nair. So depending on like what your percent is and where you're on the stage, consider those options. Which one is more beneficial to get hit with? Pick your poison, basically. Hit DI though. Uh-oh. Aha! See? Spacing for the dash attack. And that's a stock. It's looking like a 4 stock. So I was talking about, like, she'll immediately float out and do something. Yeah, my throat is dying. So ideally, I should have done a forward air where I followed through with the drift here, or drifted back, and not just come back down. Okay. Oh, and she quit out. So, yeah. So that's the matchup. I think the true dangerous thing in this matchup, as we come to a close, is that a grounded Peach is really scary. The grounded Peach is what's really the thing to worry about. And you need to play this matchup extremely patient. Extremely patient. Recognize that float is not necessarily an opportunity for a free hit. I guess the one other thing I want to talk about is I guess down smash. At a very beginner level for me, like I would cross cancel down smash a ton, and that could be really scary. So part of this game, what this matchup will help you with, if you have a tendency to always just hold down, is it will have you think critically about why you hold down. It will really force you to check when you're holding down and why you're holding down. Because if you hold down in the wrong spots, you could really eat a lot of damage. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful game. So, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down. But I think I'm the only person here, so if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. This is how I think of the matchup. It's it's kind of a slower one, but it's a very patient game. So, yep, if you have any questions, now is your chance. You did just get back at the end, so you have a beautiful hour segment to watch. Well, I hope it's helpful. Um, yeah, if you have any questions in general, Pseudo, that you want to ask, I can try to answer them real quickly right now. Because this is kind of like an uncommon matchup. Are there any matchups that you don't dash dance in? I don't. I'm sure that's true. I don't dash dance very much against Spaceys, actually. I might dash dance a little bit more against Fox, but I don't dash dance very much against Falco. Or Sheik, for that matter. I don't dash dance very much against Sheik either. I think to some extent I do little tiny dash dancing, but like full on running around kind of a thing. Those matchups I don't normally. Because with Falco, I'm usually trying to wave land around lasers and I'm spamming Piloton. And I'm always kind of like facing Falco. The only time I would really dash dance is if I was like they were coming down from platforms and I was trying to mix up spacing. With Sheik, it's a very like defensive game. I just have a hard time finding where to implement it effectively. Okay, well let's see if I do any dash dancing here. I guess I do a lot of wave dashes. So like, I guess like the times I use dash dancing, I think of it a lot as like a timing thing. So I usually use wave dashing, at least how I think of wave dashing, with Doc because his wave dash is so good. I think of it a lot as like I'm changing the spacing to a position I prefer. And I might do some really micro changes with the dash dance. But the majority of my spacing tool to like position myself, I do with a wave dash from various links. Or I jump back and fade to change where my position is. That's how I think of it. I think of dash dancing with for me as more of a timing mix up where I stutter step almost like I kind of think of basketball if you like cross somebody up because you change your rhythm and then they commit to something that you switch the timing up for. Because the problem with a wave dash is it's very telegraphed in terms of like timing because you know where they're going to be. But the dash dance will mix up when you come in or screw up someone else's timing. So depending on the character, let's see if I do it at all. I'm just gonna. So right there, I kind of did it. So that was an example where I was messing with Peach's float timing. I was waiting out the float and was moving, so I wasn't as telegraphed. So we can look at that again. So when Peach is in float like this, she only has a certain amount of time that she's going to be in the air. And dash dancing allows me to mess with her time, but it's better than just standing in spot because then I'll have to wave dash and it'll be more telegraphed where she'll predict I'll be. So dash dancing was my way of getting this whiff punish, and then I kill because it's 175. So yeah, for me, dash dancing it's like these little tiny moments where I stutter step to mess with timing. And it's a way of also stalling. I think like if let's say you're playing a Falcon and Falcon's just dash dancing in the corner, you can also dash dance to kind of make your position ambiguous, but also like wait out there dash dance. It's just a better option than standing still and allows you to move around a little bit more and reposition. So I hope that is helpful. If you have any other questions, go for it. With this matchup or in general, try to answer. Dude, absolutely. I love helping people learn stuff or at least think about the game. So yeah, dude, ask away if there's anything that comes to mind. For sure, dude. Yeah, this is kind of like my equivalent of like being in the Discord voice chat. All right, man. So yeah, you can go ahead and you have a whole little over an hour to, or yeah, just about an hour of me talking about this matchup. So hopefully it's helpful, and you have a good one, Sudo, and to whoever else is watching this when it's uploaded. Hopefully this helps you, and if you have questions, please message me on Discord or whatever. See ya.